Vladimir Putin claims Russia has become the first nation to officially find a vaccine for the novel coronavirus, responsible for the pandemic that has infected over 20 million worldwide. Following the announcement, many were questioning how legitimate this vaccine is, while other countries, as per Russia, have already shown serious interest in purchasing it. To ease any doubts in the people's minds, Putin also claimed that one of his daughters was already given the vaccine, but this seems to have only been confirmed by the Kremlin himself. I'm going to tell you guys all you need to know regarding this one right now on InformOverload. What's going down, guys? Welcome to IO. I'm your host today, Jared Bronstein, and it seems the wait is over as Russia has officially developed the world's first vaccine for the virus. However, before we assume all is hunky-dory, let's take a minute to really think this one through. Stick around to the end of this one for some comment replies, and real quick before we get into it, check out Top 10 Central. Great reactions, great people, great laughs, just a beauty of a channel. Alright, let's just knock this one out of the park. While addressing the nation on state TV, the Kremlin told the people of Russia that they have officially created the first coronavirus vaccine. Speaking to the people of Russia, Putin explained, I quote, "A vaccine against coronavirus has been registered for the first time in the world this morning. I know that it works quite effectively. It forms a stable immunity." Given the code name Sputnik V, which is a reference to the Soviet-launched satellite from 1957, many are wondering how legitimate this vaccine really is. There are reports that Putin put immense pressure to find a cure, especially given how badly Russia has been hit with the spread of the virus. At the time of this recording, there have been just under 900,000 confirmed cases, with 703,000 recoveries and 15,000 deaths in Russia. Clearly, Putin felt something needed to be done to prove to his people that he has a handle on things, and it seems he pulled through. The only issue is no one is really sure how legitimate his vaccine is, and if it's really safe. It's also belief that maybe cut some corners. Putin went on to explain he gave one of his daughters the vaccine, although it's unclear which one he was talking about. He explained that his daughter responded to the vaccine with a fever but didn't last long. I quote him saying, "After the injection her temperature was 38 degrees, the next day 37.5, and that was it. After the second injection her temperature went up slightly and then back to normal." Putin went on to explain that the vaccine was quite effective and passed all necessary checks. Russia's health minister Mikhail Mishko also went on to say that the vaccine had proven to be highly effective and safe, and dubbed this as a step toward humankind's victory over the pandemic. That being said, considering how they named the vaccine after the first satellite to reach space during a time when Russia and the US were in the middle of the Cold War, this kind of feels like we beat you to it more than anything. The vaccine was developed at the Gamaleya Institute, however, they have yet to release any safety or immunity data from their studies. Christian Lemieux, a spokesperson for the World Health Organization, also expressed his concerns regarding the virus. Sometimes individual researchers claim they have found something, which is of course, as such, great news. But between finding or having a clue of maybe having a vaccine that works and having gone through all the stages is a big difference. Although Russia claims they got the golden ticket, it hasn't gone through nearly enough trials or testing for anything to be determined. Yet even with all this lack of information or experimenting, Russian officials told CNN that there are at least 20 countries, mostly in Europe and Asia, who have shown serious interest in the vaccine. Kirill Dmitriev, who is the head of the Russian Direct Investment Fund, responsible for funding the vaccine's research, said, "We've seen considerable interest in the Russian vaccine developed by the Gamaleya Institute abroad. Moreover, we have received preliminary applications for over 1 billion doses of the vaccine from 20 countries. Along with our foreign partners, we are already prepared to manufacture over 500 million doses of vaccine per year in 5 countries, and the plan is to ramp up production capacity even higher. So far, countries in Latin America, the Middle East, and Asia have displayed the greatest interest in the vaccine, and we're about to finalize a number of contracts for the purchase of the vaccine." Now, as great as all this sounds, as previously mentioned, they haven't tested the vaccine on nearly enough people to fully understand whether or not it works. Phase 3 trials allow the vaccine to be tested on thousands, not just a few hundred, which really determines its effectiveness. Considering how this hasn't been done, many are skeptical regarding how effective it can be. As per Dmitriev, Phase 3 is supposed to start in Russia on August 12th, but apparently they're also going to take place in other countries. Dmitriev said, "We have already reached agreements on conducting the relevant trials of the Gamaleya vaccine with partners from the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and a number of other countries." To no surprise, experts around the world have chimed in, and very few genuinely believe that Russia figured something out the rest of the world hasn't. And although they have done this in the past, this time they're keeping things very low-key, which leads to some skepticism. Michael Head, a senior researcher in global health at the University of Southampton, said, "It is unclear precisely what is actually happening with the Russian vaccine. It is vital that any vaccine rollouts has the confidence of the general public, and that there is good communication of the level of effectiveness and any likely side effects. At this point in time, there is no data on the Russian-led vaccine for the global health community to scrutinize." Danny Altman, professor of immunology at Imperial College London, explained, "The bar is necessarily set very high for criteria that must be satisfied for approval after phase 3 clinical trials. The collateral damage from release of any vaccine that was less than safe and effective would exacerbate our current problems insurmountably. I hope these criteria have been followed. We are all in this together. Dr. Scott Gottlieb, the former US Food and Drug Administration Commissioner, told CNBC he would certainly not take it outside of a clinical trial where patients are closely monitored. They've cleared the equivalent really of a phase 1 clinical trial in terms of putting it in 100 to maybe as many as 300 patients, so it needs to be evaluated in a large-scale clinical trial. He went on to say Russia's vaccine development is certainly not ahead of the United States. Again, it's not a race, but sure. Yet Russia's health minister is still sure of the progress, saying, according to the results, the vaccine has shown high efficiency and safety. All volunteers developed high tiers of antibodies to COVID-19, while none of them have showed serious complications of immunization. There are currently dozens of other vaccines in the clinical trial stage, and over 100 other potential candidates that are in the preclinical evaluation stage as per the World Health Organization. We also can't forget that Russia was accused of spying on American, Canadian, and British research labs, specifically hacking into their databases, potentially looking for any information, which may aid them in finding a cure for the virus, although Putin denied this as well. So to wrap this one up, I mean look, I really do hope Russia figured it out and we can learn if that is the case, but I feel like Russia also has a bit of a history of being like a little sus, especially with America when it comes to being the first to achieve something the rest of the world would praise. So something to keep in mind. Either way though guys, let me know your thoughts on this one in the comment section down below. If a vaccine was available tomorrow, or even right now when you're watching this video, would you get it? Or would you wait a bit longer to see if there's any like long-term side effects or anything, really? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. For now, let's spot some comments from the video. The real reason why Jake Paul's fight was delayed. Baby said, I really hope he gets his life together. He's gonna end up dead or in jail. Shake my head. Yeah, I wouldn't be that surprised. I wish no harm to Jake Paul. Do I think he's a stand-up guy? I mean, I don't know him personally. His persona, not my favorite, but hey, you know, whatever makes him happy. But yeah, I just like the path he's going down. It's not like, he's got to just figure it out. He's got to turn his life around because he's not going in the right direction. Steve Roy said because he can't fight. No mystery there. Who wants to go against a potential COVID-19 carrier? I mean, I think he's going to get knocked out, but I also think, yeah, given his lifestyle, these parties and stuff, who would want to fight that? I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to do the fight and then he tested positive and he's like, oh, can't fight now. So I get it. It's dumb, but I get it. More espresso, less depresso said, I honestly don't care about Jake Paul. He should have been canceled a long time ago. Yeah, I kind of agree, but again, like, I'd rather someone just, like, help him and be like, listen, dude, figure it out. This ain't it, you know? Just like, he needs an older brother. Come on, Logan. No, I'm kidding. But like, he needs someone to just give him a good old slap across the face. Wake up, smell the coffee. I know I did. Anyways, that's it for this one, guys. I've been your host, Jared Brownstein. Caffeine's definitely kicking in, so I'm talking even faster than I was before, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Boo! Why am I like this? Like, dude, they're like, they named it after the satellite, which beat the US to the moon, or space, and they're like, it's not a race, we did it first. We have already reached agreements on conducting the relevant, we have already reached agreements on conducting the, now the caffeine's kicking in. We have already,